today we're going to put in this A.O. Smith water softener. Should be fairly easy. Actually, I know it was fairly easy. But here's how I did it. Alright, so what I got here right now is I'm going to be installing a new water softener. So the first thing I had to do was I had to remove the old one. Once the old one's removed, I have to prep the area here for the new push to fit connectors. They're not SharkBite brand, but same style as SharkBite. You can see on this one, I've already cleaned it up because they look kind of nasty over here. You can see this one right here. Now to clean these up, you have to get one of these little wire brushes. Now I got this multi one. It'll do the inside of connectors and it'll do the outside. You can see this one's already been done. It looked worse than this one. You can actually see the previous little SharkBite connector that was on there. You can see it left little marks. So all right, once you have your area cleaned up and prepped, you prepped your pipes, especially I chose to do that first because once I get the system in here, it may not be as easy to get back to the pipe. System is in place after the area was cleaned on the floor. And if you don't clean the floor, there is potential, obviously, to damage the bottom of the unit. It can be hard to get it level, and I always like everything to sit level, whether it tells you you have to or not, just because in my mind, level equals accurate, unless otherwise stated. So once all that's done, your unit's almost in its final place. Obviously, mine's going to face the wall, and these come out the back. So I had to turn it back away from the wall. On this A.O. Smith water softener, it's the XXL. It's got 1-inch NPT inlet and outlet. What you do is you get a pen or a pencil. I just happen to have a pencil, and you wrap your tape up around the pencil. Once you're all set on that, you take your hose and attach the hose. Now, with the setup I had here when I started, I ended up having to get Now, once you have your pipe taped together, all taped up, you are ready to install your hose. With this A.O. Smith, I had to get a special hose to adapt to what I have in place in the way of my water supply line. Originally, I had two of the SharkBite fittings, one on each end, 3/4 inch piece, and that was for the old unit. With the A.O. Smith having 1-inch NPT on the inlet and outlet, I now needed to have a 1-inch NPT or FIP. Yeah, because they're amazing. But I had to go get this special hose. It cost about $20. Now, for me, my end is on the left. There is nothing that tells me that. I had to write it down. I'm lucky this is right next to my office in the basement, so I wrote it on my whiteboard. Over here, I know that my in is on the left. I had to remember that, and my out is on the right. Making sure that I line those up. All right, I'm actually kind of excited about this because I've never used a shark bite style fitting. So I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. Now this one is my left, and before I said that in goes on the left, and I say all you do is slide it on. So cool, simple enough. And these hoses are really cool because they're flexible, but they're nice steel design. All right, my out is on the right. Oh, okay. And gotta get the unit in a little closer, I guess. There we go. And that should be it. We'll know when we turn the water on. All right, so on the back here, we got to connect the overflow drain. That comes out of this little hole right here. If you're working on a similar unit like what I've got here with an A.O. Smith, one thing you're going to notice is there's no threads in this hole, but we have a threaded tube here. So what you have to do is stick the threads in there, push, and twist. And there you go. Once it is flush against the back of the brine tank, golden. Make sure it's pointing down. This is the drain line. It's gonna look something like that. It'd be a straight one, whereas the first one was 90. Unlike the overflow, the drain line has threads inside the female fitting. So we are gonna have to put some more plumber's tape on there. They supply, in the box from A.O. Smith, they supply you with a hose for the drain line. They do not, however, supply you with a hose for the overflow line. It does not come with a hose clamp, but in my experience, when using rubber hose clamp isn't a bad idea. So now comes the moment of truth. Gotta make sure that we're set in bypass. On the A.O. Smith, bypass is over here. On the inlet side, service is over here. Turn this little guy, it's got a little arrow on it right now. She's pointing at bypass. Cross them if you got them. Oh. That's not good. All right, so hoping I figured out the leak problem. There was a chunk of solder that was on the back of my pipe and wasn't allowing the shark bite to go down to insertion depth. So we're gonna try and clean that pipe back up, make it look pretty. Now let's see if we can get her to go down more. Haha, there we go. All right, just him. There. Now once you have your water running on bypass, you gotta go turn on the faucet and let the water run out in the process for a little bit. This is mostly just to get any debris that was in the new pipe. If you had to cut or solder, get any of that debris run through the system and cleared out before we end up actually making the system run. Plug her in and see if my work was done right. And now from there, you're just gonna take all the information you did when you tested your water, and you're gonna enter it in here and program following the instructions. So now you have to fill, once you have all of your settings done, set up, ready to go, you have to fill the brine tank with 5 gallons of water now. All right, now we have 5 quarts in there. Once that happens, it is time to switch into service mode. So you go ahead and flip your switch. Woo, it's making noise. Fairly simple, fairly straightforward, especially if you were just taking an old piece out and putting a new piece in. So keep you posted on how she does. Until next time.